Becky Lynch is the new Women's World Champion, making her a 7-time champion, but that doesn't stop the internet outrage. Let's address the complaints from the fickle followers online, seeking to megaphone their opinion that Becky winning was wrong and boring and repetitive, and what about my faves? My faves! It's all a backstage political move. We'll get into all of the arguments, and if the crowd in Columbus on Monday Night Raw got what they deserved. It's Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin. Jump into the comments and let us know what you think. That crowd in Columbus, by the way, they were cheering. They were excited. They enjoyed seeing the man win the title in the main event. So what exactly is the issue with Becky Lynch becoming the Women's World Champion? The argument that those very angry people online are making is that Becky Lynch becoming the Women's World Champion was unnecessary since she's big enough and doesn't need the title at this point in her career, which is hard to argue against, but still, what is the argument? Moreover, she just lost a little over 2 weeks before this at WrestleMania 40 in a convincing fashion against Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley had to drop the title due to injury. It's a messy situation where a lot of people are double talking one way and double talking the other. The biggest argument is actually that it should have been Liv Morgan who won the Women's World title and not Becky Lynch, and a lot of people have seen Morgan lingering and laboring in the shadows behind bigger names like Rhea and Becky, and felt that maybe she was the one who deserved it. If not her, what about Nia Jax, who certainly had a strong showing in that same Battle Royal match and got a ton of heat. As usual, Liv Morgan was the runner-up in the Battle Royal, and she's really been the runner-up in a lot of big multi-woman matches like this with a lot of stakes at hand in her WWE career. So I understand where that narrative can really get under the skin of the Liv Morgan faithful who want her to have her revenge tour. Liv Morgan has been the runner-up or near that position in 2 Royal Rumble matches, making Rhea Ripley call her the forever runner-up. But the argument for Liv Morgan is valid for 2 reasons when you consider it. Number 1, she directly injured Rhea Ripley right after WrestleMania, so the storyline is there. She injured the person who was the champion, forcing the champion to vacate the title, and then she wins the championship when the rightful champion isn't there, playing in a great rematch once Rhea Ripley can come back to action. She was also technically the last person to pin Rhea Ripley all the way back in 2022 that we can find. While we're playing Tuesday morning quarterback for what happened on Monday Night Raw, what if, just what if, Nia Jax walked out with the title instead? The live crowd would have universally booed her. She is a very, very over villain who gets heat because she's a bad girl who does bad things to the good girls that we like, and there are a lot more good girls in that match, and Ohio would have booed her out of Ohio if she won the title. And the same fans that are upset about Morgan not getting the title would have been just as upset. But let's address the comparisons that Becky Lynch, one of the most popular and beloved wrestlers the last 10 years, is somehow now a backstage politicker, and right up there with Hulk Hogan, who did it back in the day. Yes, this is a balloon that people are trying to blow hot air into. There were a lot of comments going around calling Becky Lynch Hulk Hogan for winning the title when she didn't need to at all. Okay, this is a stretch. Take a deep breath because you're really stretching here. So how did Becky Lynch actually politic her way into winning the title? Our best guess is no, she didn't do that. So anyone trying to create that narrative online is just trying to make some overzealous justification for their wrestling nerd outrage. While the chance will never be 0, the actual odds of Becky Lynch being a backstage politician who's assuming control and influence in the current WWE environment is unlikely. Let's be clear, Becky Lynch obviously has a position of power and influence in WWE because she's earned it. I mean, come on, she was in the first all-women's main event of WrestleMania and she won. And the same crowd of fans that are now clamoring for her to somehow be kicked off her throne and look how she's suppressing someone else. She's not doing that. You're making it up. Just because she's reportedly the second highest paid woman in WWE, these things can make people sway one way or the other and just run with something and claim that it's true when it's really just a twist of perspective based on your activated biases and your preferences for somebody else. If anything, there's one verifiable story to prove that she's used her backstage power to help elevate others. Here's an example: Bianca Belair. After her 4-month run that began with the title at WrestleMania 37, Bianca Belair's reign as SmackDown Women's Champion ended abruptly in just 26 seconds at the hands of Becky Lynch, in a confusing scenario for everyone watching and maybe for everyone wrestling at SummerSlam. Heck, even Bianca Belair was confused and broke down backstage, thinking that her moment was fleeting, that it was gone. Becky Lynch was back in the mix with WWE, and some people were saying that she used her position as WWE's top woman to take the title, and made sure that Bianca Belair, though, got to have her moment at WrestleMania 38. It didn't want to work with anyone else. Becky Lynch took the title off Bianca. She made Bianca an even bigger star, even more EST at the WrestleMania that would follow. And surely enough, the outlandishly villainous Becky Lynch at the time did just that, having over 65,000 people on their feet when Belair hit her with the KOD for the 1, 2, 3. It was one of the best matches in Texas that weekend. I was there. I can say that. She would go on to become a bona fide main event star with a year-long run at the top, and we doubt that it wouldn't have happened if it didn't have the push and effort that Becky Lynch put in to taking the title away from Bianca 8 months earlier and being the villain that Bianca needed to become the hero that she is now. Oh, we got even more receipts for the Becky Boo Birds. When Lynch won the NXT Women's Championship last year, it felt maybe an odd thing compared to what she did in 2015 in that same division. But this was the man putting her stardust on another group of superstars that needed it. This wasn't just WWE giving her the one accolade she didn't have. When it was all said and done, she elevated another fellow Irish superstar in Lyra Valkyrie in the process. When she feuded with Nia Jax from 2023 to early 2024, they had 2 matches where Nia won once and Becky got her win back before WrestleMania. But which was more memorable of those 2 matches? It was most definitely the first one, where Nia Jax picked up a clean win, by the way, over Becky Lynch on television. Our point is basically this. From where we stand in this present moment, sure, it may look objectively questionable to have Becky Lynch become the Women's World Champion in this scenario, but wait to see how things play out in the coming weeks. What is the practical nature of what's going to happen here? It could possibly be one of those transitional situations where Liv Morgan is lifted up once again by the new star maker in WWE, that is Becky Lynch. It's possible that Liv Morgan winning the Women's World Champion would be more effective if it happened on a bigger stage rather than on some episode of Raw where they're trying to rebound from a big superstar being put on the shelf with an injury. And just think about it, isn't a championship win always more effective when it's won from somebody else rather than a battle royale where everyone's scrambling to get a prize? Yeah, battle royales are cool, but a big one-on-one match has a little bit more consequence to it, doesn't it? Don't be surprised if Becky Lynch is a transitional champion for a short period, or maybe has the title and Morgan becomes a bigger star in her revenge tour that turns into a title chase. Until then, just enjoy wrestling, everybody. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below.